Andy, I'll ask you. I mean, you've been watching football a long time, my friend. Um, what can the NFL do? Again, this was a freak accident, but obviously with the Tua thing, that brings up the larger issue. What can the NFL do in all honesty, because again, you have so many
Yeah.
things at play here, right? With the players' union and contracts and this and that, and money becomes involved, and people start, how that can be. But what can the NFL do to help prevent things like Tua from happening? Because again, as you said, three concussions within a few months. That poor guy. I mean, he could already be messed up for the rest of his life and not even know it.
Yeah.
What do you
And
got to say,
and
Anthony?
and Ben touched on something that I was going to talk about. I mean, Junior Seau committed
Hmm.
suicide, and he had even with all that was going on, he had the presence of mind to shoot himself in the chest so that they could examine his brain. Um, but this thing with the CTE has been going on for a long time, and I mean, when I was playing football back in the 70s and the 80s, it was just something you got your bell rung. So as far as I know,
Hmm.
I might have had a concussion or two playing football, but that was just something, you boom, and then your head rung for a little bit and you were a little dizzy and you went out for a couple plays, you went back in and you knocked pads some more. But now knowing what we know and knowing the long term damage that could cause and long term effects, listen, I'm you ask me what the NFL can do, they can do a hell of a lot more than what they're doing. Every single one of those franchises owner is a billionaire. Period. Period. Every single one of their bosses is a billionaire. They could do a hell of a lot more than they're doing. The CTE issue, ever since it started coming up, and it started coming up, and it started coming up, and it started coming up. I mean, I remember seeing Antonio Brown laid out on the field. Okay, and now look what's going on with him. Richard Sherman has had some problems. I mean, and Richard Sherman is not an unintelligent guy. Richard Sherman has had some Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde moments as of late in the last 4 or 5 years. You get Tua. I'm just gonna say it. I hated watching him play at Alabama, but I hated watching him play because he was so damn good and he was always beating my team. But I say this now not because he played for Bama, but for his own health and safety. If the Dolphins give a damn about Tua Tagovailoa, they will tell him, "Look, we're gonna sit you down. Your contract's already covered. You understand what I'm saying? I now the freak things you can't like the Joe Theismann type injuries and the busted ACLs. There's nothing that they can really do to prevent that short of making it flag ball. And
Right.
I've seen dudes tear Achilles and ACLs playing flag football. But as far as the CTE and things like
Right.
that, if a dude gets his bell rung, he does not play. Period. He don't go back in next week. He don't go in the week after. He's sitting out for at least a 2 to 3 week minimum
Right.
because they're gonna make that money anyway. Why? They're talking. Oh well, we lose money. All 32 teams split the television revenue. Do they not?
Yeah. I think
Don't they
so.
get
Yeah.
a don't they get a portion of
Yeah.
the ad? Doesn't
They
a
do.
portion of the ad revenue come to the
Hmm.
NFL and all that? Stuff? I mean,
Yeah,
Roger.
the teams do get some part of that. Yes,
Right,
correct.
right. And Roger Goodell gets like a 7 figure salary a year, right?
Hmm.
To do a whole lot of nothing, but get booed at the draft every year, and maybe occasionally go, well, you can't play for 3 games if somebody act up, right?
Right.
So if
Yeah.
they can afford all of that money, why can't they afford to take care of the people that have do you understand what I'm saying? Because without these players, these guys would not be billionaires.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying? I think, and honestly, I don't know how true this whole thing was. The story about the NFL saying, because there's all different stories going around the NFL saying, well, they got him off the field. You guys are going back out on the field in 5 minutes. I don't know the truth to that. But if that is true, the NFL can kiss all of my behind because I'm already tired. I'm already tired. I've been griping and complaining
Yeah.
about these horrible games all season. Y'all kiss all of my behind because it's been obvious for years. It doesn't. They do a lot of lip service about how much they care about the players, but do they really? They do enough. They do enough to get the people to come in, like they did the thing with Sean Taylor with Sean Taylor at
Right.
Commanders Park and things like that. You understand what I'm saying? And that was a guy that was loved by all the fans. They keep trotting his name out every time something happened, and Dan Snyder get in trouble, caught with his hand in the cookie jar. Oh, we painted a 21 on the field. They don't. They don't. They've shown that they don't care. Now, I can't speak for all the franchises, but overall, as a league, I'm sorry. I've you understand what I'm saying? I mean,
No, no, I'm with
we
you,
got
man.
we got a a young man who's a host on several of our shows had 5 concussions in high school. You understand what I'm saying? It's a violent sport. So if he had gone on to play college and maybe gone on to play pro, Lord only knows what had happened to him. And I'm sorry. I don't mean
No,
to be
don't
that.
apologize.
I don't mean to be that
You
guy,
played the
and
game.
I don't mean to be the non Uncle Shay Shay version of Uncle Shay Shay today. But the NFL is just not doing right by these players when it comes to things like that. And then hearing that story, I try to keep it real then because I wasn't there. I don't know if it happened or not. But if it turned out to be true, NFL
Yeah.
is.
Thanks for watching. If you like that clip, be sure to check out the other great content from the Let's Talk Football community. And as always, please like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you'll be notified when more great content like this becomes available.